Good evening. What's up, guys? Chris Erics coming from Flex the Truth podcast. So excited to be with you tonight. We'll give a couple of minutes, let people get on. I'm so excited to see all the new Flexies slash Patriot Street Fighters slash Blessed to Teach slash Steel Truthers slash resistant chickers. Does it even make sense? Resistance chickers. Yeah, I just made up a word. So we'll give you guys a couple of minutes. Let's see who's on. I am so excited. Chickers. We got Willard. We got one person so far. 5,000 people, one person. Give it a couple of minutes. What's up, Patty? Hi, Tom and Rolf. How are you? Hi, Shelly B. Hi, Norma. Guys, if it's your first time on my podcast, Norma, Tama, just tell me where you're from. Love to know where you're from. With me speaking and traveling all over the country this summer, I'd love to know where you're at. We have a lot. We have a lot of information to go through tonight. Just give a couple of minutes. And I believe it's going to take about a week or so for people to Michigan. Norma, watch out for Michigan. That's what I'm telling everybody. Watch out for Michigan. Everybody's got their eyes on Arizona. Okay, now I'm going to tell you, this is Arizona. This is Michigan. Give you a little hint. What's up, Will from the Bird? Donna. Englewood, Florida. Tama Rolf. I was just in Tampa Bay and Treasure Island. I love Florida. It's got my name written all over it. I will be a Floridian very soon. If I'm not down there in the next 6 months, I'd be shocked. Especially with the people that I met this weekend. You know what's sad is that my own wife doesn't realize that I have a podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern. She's asking me if I want anything from the grocery store. It's pretty funny. DeSantis is the man, Thomas. DeSantis is the man. You know, and we're going to talk about it here in a little bit, but, you know, Ducey did something today in Arizona, so that's good. And I think what's going to happen, you're going to see more and more governors take suit behind DeSantis. But there wasn't one person in Florida that I spoke to did not, talk highly about DeSantis. He's a very beloved man out there, as he should be. As he should be. Yeah, being that I did an interview with Ann Vandersteel, not last week, the week before. It got taken down. It was the first video I got after, you know, being booted. So I'm not happy about that. I do have that video. I am going to put it up on Rumble. I am going to put it up on BitChute. And also, I will soon, after tonight or tomorrow morning, I will then be on Brighteon as well. And I'm supposed to have my own channel. So I'm excited. 8 hours a day of Flex the Truth. We have a couple more minutes, and then I'm just going to dive into current news, everything that's going on. Talk to you guys, catch you up a little bit. I know you guys love, the Flexies love when I tell them when I'm away at an event. It's almost like they're there, and I speak from the heart. So I have a lot to tell people. All right, so let's get started. So first things first, let's talk about, I have not talked to Tristan since I got back. I literally got back about 2.5 hours ago. Got off the plane, literally grabbed something to eat, grabbed something from my wife, and then said, hey, do I do a podcast first, then go to the gym? Or do I go to the gym and then do a podcast? Obviously, I chose the podcast. We'll always choose the people over my personal preferences. So I went to Tampa Bay. There was a birthday party for Erin and Caitlin that I met up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Two great girls. And they invited me to Tulsa. Now, please understand that I did not know anybody there. So the people that actually stayed in this wasn't a house, guys. It was a mansion. It was literally right on the beach. We had our own house. It was just in insanity. And I became me, and the first night I was kind of quiet. I was kind of to myself. I was answering a lot of your text messages, a lot of emails. Thank you so much. Love that when you guys text and email me. So I was catching up on that. But in the meantime, what I was doing was I was just watching people, and I was just feeling them out. And because I didn't know these people from Adam, and I'm not just going to jump in a conversation. I hate when people do that, when they try to make small talk and they jump in a conversation. They have no idea who you're about, what you're for, and but they jump in. And so that's not me. I want to get to know you a little bit. I want to know what you're about. And then I want to get to know you. And so it was kind of funny because I heard the night after, man, we don't know what to make of baby Trump, because he was really quiet. He was really to himself. And I had this woman, I'll give her a shout out right now, D. What's up, D? D from New Jersey, but she lives in Florida. She said, yeah, he's feeling out the situation, kind of like a shark, you know what I mean, going around its prey. And so I've there's only been a couple of people that have really gotten that from me when they meet me. But in any event that I've ever gone to, whether it's been my network marketing company, Black Tie, or whatever event it's been, that's what I do. I survey the land. I see the people that I do want to strike up a conversation with. I see people that I do want to get to know a little bit better. And then I see people that I just want to avoid, right? And so, with that being said, there was nobody in the house that I wanted to avoid. And so I actually opened up that night to Gage, if you're out there, give you a little shout out. And we had our own pool, so it had to be maybe 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to show you guys pictures of us, but it had to be about 1:30 in the morning. And you know, just Gage and I, we just started talking and we just started bouncing off one another, and we were really igniting ourselves. It was kind of crazy. I apologize. They are mowing the lawn outside at 10 after 7 on a Tuesday that it was not 90 or 100 degrees out here today. So I apologize for the incompetence of them. But anywho, so him and I stayed up to about 4:30 in the morning, just talking, and we were passionate conversation, and then the next day I kind of opened up to people, and really let the baby Trump out. And once I let the baby Trump out, there was no putting the baby Trump back in. But that Friday night that we played a game. It's called Heads Up. Now, I'm sure you played that game. That game is not a game that you're like, oh my gosh, like, Pictionary or something, like, wow, this is going to be a lot of fun. But it didn't matter. It was the people that were involved in the game that made it probably the most talked about event of this weekend. And we laughed so hard. I mean, Gage, I think we had to get him oxygen because he couldn't even stop breathing. I mean, the laughing that we did. I mean, I remember Aaron said, I haven't laughed like that, and she couldn't even remember when. And why am I telling you this? Because you put a stranger in an event, right? Or another country or another city, right? That person either adapts to its surroundings or it dies. Let me say it again. It either adapts to its surroundings and gets along and learns the native language and learns people, right? And how to have conversations with each person, and each personality is different, or that person is going to go by the wayside, and baby Trump didn't go by the wayside. No, we had a phenomenal time. We actually have a saying. It's called, what am I doing? Hey, Gage. Hey, D, what am I doing? So I just wanted to give you a little shout out about that. But, I just want to tell you that if you're in a corner of a home and you have no TV, no entertainment whatsoever, whoever is there can be the entertainment. See, when you have good people around you that are like-minded but also like-hearted, what happens, there becomes this chemistry that you don't try to arrange or try to happen. It just happens. And it was absolutely incredible. But there's a man that I want to talk to about that. The first night when I met him, I kind of felt like Scott McKay, where and I felt like I'm the protector. That's and, on the second day, I had to promise. I could have been out in the sun. That's normally where I'm at. I'm in a pool, I'm at the beach, right? Getting sun. But it was more important for me to be with that man. That man's name is Dan. And Dan, you don't even know how you touch people, but you touched me in such a way that I can't even explain in words. Not too many people have come up to me out of the blue after I first meet them and said, hey, I want to help you. Clay is one of them. We know that, but even that's even limited, right? But this man said, I want to help you. I want to. What can I do? How can I help you make money? And he asked me some questions that nobody in my life has ever asked me. He asked me some questions like, "What's your end game? What do you want to do?" And what was great is the conversation that we had led up to some other things. Joe's not on here, but if Joe was on here, Joe called me because I had said something to him before I went to Florida. And he called me, he's like, I have to talk to you, because he was blown away what I had said to him. And when Dan sat there and took his time out and one-on-one, I'm talking one-on-one, intimate, undivided attention. It didn't matter what was going on around us. It was just me and him, and we were locked in. And the whole entire time he said to me, I get you. I love what you're about. I love what you're about. He talked about my heart. See, but what this man doesn't understand is he was connected, and when him and I were connected because we have such big hearts, you know? And so, Dan, I appreciate the time that you spent with me one on one, the conversations you had. I'll never forget it. We're gonna have a friendship forever. I see that. D as well. Some other people, Christine, Christy, right? Just a trip. Lives in the Allentown area, so she's close by to me. Her and I, we just hit it off. Me and her. Pennsylvania was cleaning the house. We actually had to clean the house because it was a wreck. So it was me and Chrissy that cleaned after I made everybody breakfast, and it was just a great time. And then I met a woman on the beach because we had a cabana, a VIP cabana, and this woman walked up and hi, Rachel. I'm sure you're not on my podcast, but that's okay. Hopefully, you get to hear this. But I want to talk about Rachel for a minute. Rachel was in Tulsa, and I don't know how I missed her. Let me say again, Rachel was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I missed her, and I don't know how. So I was sitting there, and this woman came up, and she had, those blue blocker glasses, like real dark, And then when she took them off, she has these evanescent, glowing green eyes that when you look in her eyes, you see a godly woman. And this woman took her time out when we could have been partying, hanging out, whatever, and really got to know me and really cared about my testimonial, what I want to do, what my story is, and then went as much as opening up and being vulnerable to little old me. I'm a nobody, and shared her story with me that just blew me away. And I had an opportunity to get a photograph with her. I asked her to be on my show. She asked me to be on her show. So you want to follow her. It is Rachel Ham. She has a show, podcast. So you definitely want to follow her. What a great woman. Husband Marshall, great guy. Got to talk to him and share some things with him. And it was just like one person after another. And then I'm sitting there. If it couldn't get better, right? And I'm sitting there and I want to paint this picture. And I'm looking out of the balcony and I'm looking at the sun and the Gulf of Mexico and just going, wow, this is going to be every day for me very soon. And in walks this metrosexual looking Jersey, right? Good looking dude, right? And I see him and I'm like, I smell Jersey, right? Because we could smell one another. And him and I started talking. His name is Derek, former model and former entertainer and everything like that. And, him and I just hit it right out of the park without even trying. And his girlfriend, Kaya Jones. Hi, Kaya. Hopefully you get to see this. What an awesome woman. What an awesome woman. And you might have heard of her from the Pussycat Dolls. She was an original Pussycat Doll, and then she left. And what was awesome is that I got to spend quality one-on-one time with both Derek and Kaya. And it was almost like God had set it up because, Derek and I, our lives are very parallel from being models, entertainers, being Jersey. We used to go to the same nightclubs and everything, dating high profile women. And then Kai and I, we had a lot in common and our lives are parallel because of our end game. She was an entertainer. after she, dropped out of the Pussycat Dolls, she gave her life to Christ. Same thing with me. Once I was done entertaining, 17 years ago, I gave my life to Christ. Her end game is a ministry. My end game is a ministry. And so to meet somebody, an entertainer like me, that sold sex for a living, let's put our cards on the table, right? That's what she did. That's what I did, right? Being a Chippendale dancer. And there's no shame in that because that's who we were. But our past doesn't define who we are now today. Amen. And I was so blessed sitting there talking to these two people. And I just was like, wow, like God is putting these people around me. They lived in Florida, they live in Orlando. And, it was funny because I was sitting there saying, I don't know where I'm going to want to live and so on and so forth. And I believe like God is starting to like bring me that way, and, so got to hang out with them, got a little bit late, they wanted to spend some quality time together. So I gave Derek a shirt, took a picture of it. You'll see it in a little bit. And then that night, I'll tell you how cool this guy is. That night, he texts me about, hey, dude, I'm wearing your shirt. Love it. Quality material. I wore your shirt to bed. How cool is that? Right? Then Kai came the next day, got to see them again, got to spend some time on the beach with them. Other people were talking to them, so I didn't want to hog up all their time. Honestly, I could talk to those two forever and ever. We would never be without conversation. But I wanted to, share it and network and, talk to other people. And then when they came back to the house, then I gave Kai a shirt as well. I believe I had 19 shirts or something I brought. I gave everybody a shirt. Obviously Caitlin and Erin. I got to meet, Erin's three boys, which was so awesome. Drew, Logan, and Dylan. I got to hang out with the oldest, Dylan and Logan, in the Gulf of Mexico. We were riding waves. I was teaching them that. So that was pretty cool. And just what great kids. What a great job you've done, Erin. Erin, if you don't know Erin is called Nurse Erin. She is the one that is fighting for her children. She's fighting. She's actually making a stand for every single family in the world, not even the United States, about the V's and the M's, and just a phenomenal human being. And I got to see her play mom, so that was really cool. Caitlin, I got to see her, and met her, guy that she's, been talking and seeing from time to time, Jonathan. What a great guy, Jonathan. Thanks for the time spent, and got to hang out with her, Martin, the little boxer, and her German Shepherd, Jaguar. And so got to hang out with them and got to see her interact with, her puppies, and it was pretty cool. So I got to see sides of people that I didn't see in Tulsa. Does that make sense? And what I love about that is that, I met Austin, Jeremy's son. I don't want to forget about him. We had a dance off one night. You'll see the video. But what a great kid, Jeremy. I said to Jeremy, you did a great job raising this boy. He was so giving. He was not self-serving. He was serving other people. He couldn't do enough for other people. He was just so kind. You could feel, his heart. And I always tell you, pictures says 1,000 words, right? So let's go to the pictures, shall we? Give me 1 second. No, I don't want to forget about him. We had a dance off one night. You'll see the video. But what a great kid, Jeremy. I said to Jeremy, let me go. See if I can go in order. He was so giving. He was not self-serving. Okay. Serving other people. He couldn't do enough for other people. All right, ready? So so kind. You could feel, his heart. This is a great picture. And I always tell you, so hopefully you guys can see this. I'm gonna go around. This is Caitlin. It was her birthday. This is Nurse Erin, who I was talking about. That's who I met in Tulsa. Actually, when I was throwing the two guys out of Tulsa, there were Secret Service or U.S. Marshals, sheriffs and cops. Caitlin was right beside me on the right hand side. I was throwing the guys out. This is Jonathan from North Carolina. Obviously, this is me, right? Here's D. Here's Gage, my buddy Gage. Here's Jeremy. Here's Michelle and her boyfriend Matt. Here is Marshall and Rachel. Here's Anna Kate. I forgot this gentleman's name right here. And this is uh Matt and Michelle's boyfriend. Oh, I said that. And I forgot who this guy is too. But anyway, guys, I stayed here. I was like the cabana boy, you know what I mean? And this is a hot tub, and we had a pool. Beach is right here. You can see the sand, right? How cool is this? This is Jonathan. Talk about a good time, right? Obviously, this is me. Here we are again. Here's Jaguar right here. So I got to tell you this, right? Her boxer, the first day, literally the first day, we're walking. I'm over here, Michelle, and Caitlin over here. Don't go in. Jump to the bottom, trying to do the goal. I was like, and grab them. So yeah, pretty much saved the dog's life on the first day. Pretty crazy, huh? Talk about a good. So if that doesn't tell you what kind of a weekend it was going to be, right? So then let me get out of here. Her boxer, the first day, literally the first day, we're walking. I'm over here. Okay, so here's some more pictures. All right, here's Dan. This is Mike. Mike is Dan's cousin. This guy is a riot. Just a good guy, looking out for his cousin, looking out for everybody's, betterment. Mike, had a great time with you, man. Thank you so much for your friendship and hospitality. Guys, this is Caddies. You're gonna see a picture with us with the manager. This place was right on the beach. It was absolutely unbelievable. They're the one that did our VIP. This is me and Dan. Let me get out of here. Okay, this one. So this is crazy, right? So this woman starts talking to me. Next thing I know, it's Dawn. Her name is Dawn, and she's from Pittsburgh. How crazy is that? Has been there for 18 years. She's been working at Caddies for 18 years now. So pretty cool. You never know. Here's Gage with my Louis bag. Great time with you, man. Thank you. Guy is character, man. Love him. Love him. Guys, this is Caddy. I'll show you more. We got tons and tons of pictures. You're gonna see a picture with us with the manager. This place was right on the beach. It was absolutely. Oh, this is beautiful. They're the one. So I'll blow this up a little bit. This is me and Dan. Look at this. So we took this picture. This is crazy, right? Just as the sun was setting. You can see the palm trees. This is Miss Rachel Ham, Anna Kate. How crazy is that? Me and Christy just being goofballs. It's just things that we did. We just had such a blast. This is a great picture. This is D. Now this is what's crazy. So D the night before, her and I having a conversation. We're talking about Dan, la 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 la. Next thing we know, we find out she's related to Dan. Mhm. How crazy is that? This is beautiful. When you think about God putting people together, it's pretty ludicrous when you think about it. But there's always a reason. Miss Rachel Ham. Oh, this is us again. This is right on the deck. Me and Christy. Guys, I literally did this 5 minutes before I came on, so I just made sure I had all the pictures on here. So I apologize. This is what's crazy. Oh, here we are. So this is us at Caddies. There's Gage, me, Dan. This is what's his name? Oh my gosh. We find out she's related to Dan. Skip. He's been there for like 2 years. He's leaving. He's gonna have a party. He invited us to actually. Manager, great guy. We're gonna stay in touch, him and I. It's just great time, man. He runs that whole entire place. Oh, this is us again. This is right on the deck. Me and the girls. I literally did this 5 minutes before I came on. Anna and I just made sure I had all the pictures. I don't think. I don't know why Anna. I was like, Anna, I don't bite. I don't. I guess Anna doesn't. This is. I guess Anna doesn't feel. What's his name? Close to me or something. Skip. He's been there for like 2 years. He's leaving. He's gonna have a party invites too. Actually, they're great. We're gonna just great. He runs whole entire place. Really just okay. That was weird. I was getting sound from somewhere, and I don't know where it was from. It came out of nowhere. Oh, this is cool. This is us on the beach. This is when we had our VIP. Me, Gage, Jonathan, Aaron. Here's Rachel and Aaron. This is like our cabana inside. Me and Gage. There's Kai, Miss Kai Jones, and Aaron. Great picture of them. It's this one. Yeah, this is pretty cool. D, Christy, and I. You don't want to mess around with us. This is actually the living room, guys. All open. It's Kate and Aaron in the kitchen. Gage and I. Oh, this is great. This is Derek I was telling you about. And Kaya. Oh, man. Good. You know, especially like the end, you don't meet people like that. You meet phonies, I believe this is the last one. Look at this. This is Caitlin with her German Shepherd. That's how big he was. And me and Miss Kaya. We have the same pose too. It's hysterical. We were laughing. Of course, we had the same pose. So, guys, just wanted to share that with you. Wanted to share the good times and people that I met. To let you know that you could go somewhere and not know anybody, and just be dropped in, and you got to make the best of it, right? And either adapt to what's going on, or if you don't do that, then guess what? You die. So I want to go over a couple of things that has been going on. I don't know if you know about this or not, but I want to speak about it. So they're talking about a wood shortage, right? And that's why they're racking up the prices of wood, correct? Well, it turns out, if they didn't take it off, it turns out that there is no shortage, that there are train loads of lumber stacked as far as the eye can see. One of the most important things we've learned over the past year is the vulnerability of golden supply chains, most notably supply disruptions of lumber, have catapulted prices to the moon. Guys, listen, I had a construction company. I was an interior designer for 19 years. Wood has never been high, not even in 2008 and 2009. Wood is ridiculous now, and it doesn't need to be. But if you think about it, what is wood for? To rebuild, to make better. They don't want that. They do not want that. So you can see amongst other lumber companies, this is actually the Colonial Pipeline they're talking about. But here it is right here. Look at this, guys. Look at this. They're just lying to us. Again, caught in a lie. Look at this, guys. Look at this. On and on. Look, here's train loads of lumber. Watch this, guys.
I stumbled on this yesterday and just wanted to, I just felt I needed to show you this video. It's amazing. A lumber yard. It's actually a depot. Train loads of lumber coming out of Canada, and they offload here, and then they're transported by tractor trailer to different lumber yards. This lumber goes on for over a quarter of a mile, maybe 3/8 of a mile. I'm just astounded at how much lumber is here, and I'm wondering why there's such a problem at the lumber yards. We're still seeing the prices increase at the lumber yards, so I'm not sure why. Wish I could understand that a little better.
Have you seen enough? Like, why are they lying to us? Well, I'll tell you why. So they can charge us for what? The lumber. Okay, guys, I don't know if you know about this. I thought this was pretty exciting. How this, not that this went down, but in the essence of how it went down. Okay. So basically, last month, the man who calls himself president, green screen, visited the Pentagon on the pretense of conducting a surprise inspection. His real impetus was to learn whether a rumor he heard was true, that 45 was in a building meeting secretly with Marine Corps General Berger, which could explain why the Pentagon police denied him access to the property. Okay? Now, on April 14th, 2 days before the Pentagon Protection Force turned away a shocked and confused green screen, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark A. Milley, summoned the 7 other Joint Chiefs to the Pentagon for an emergency meeting. According to a confidential source involved in 45's mission to eliminate deep state operatives throughout the nation. One said from all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces to undermine Greenscreen's presidency. General Milley said Greenscreen was the democratically elected president of the United States and that all armed forces personnel, from the lowest private to the patriotic duty to support and protect democracy, Greenscreen and Camel Toe Harris. From off ballistic, like he was a cursing machine, swearing at and exasperating these highly decorated, lifelong members of our country's military. He said he heard they were helping 45 do what he called secret. Now, guys, listen, secret and illegal arrest of prominent, active, and retired politicians. That's interesting. He kept blasting them and told them he was going to recommend that Greenscreen and Camel Toe fire them, one source said. General Milley reportedly offered the other Joint Chiefs of Staff a final chance to abandon their allegiance to 45 and swear filthy to, I love that, filthy, it should be filthy, to Greenscreen and Camel Toe. Now, guys, understand, the Joint Chiefs of Staff were all under 45, correct? Okay. Of all the chiefs, only one leapt to his feet and supported Greenscreen. That was General Daniel Hawkinson. He's the chief of the National Guard Bureau. We've heard about him. He denounced 45 and told General Milley that he and the National Guard would honor their oath to the Constitution. He said they were prepared to defend Greenscreen's presidency with their lives if necessary. One source said Commander of the U.S. Marine Corps, David Berger, a longtime supporter of 45, passed General Milley an envelope. Guys, where have we heard this before? Passed an envelope. What was in that envelope? The envelope held an arrest warrant issued by the U.S. Navy Judge Advocate General Corps. It named General Milley as a traitor to America and its people. Except for you and this cow, General Berger said, pointing at General Hawkinson, we all support this great nation and what it stands for, and we reject the forces of darkness, destroying what our founding fathers worked so hard to codify. We stand for a nation, not a man. Why are you so eager to say Camel Toe's name in every sentence with Greenscreen? We know why. General Milley, of one source added, shredded the warrant, calling it a joke, and promised General Berger he would hang for treasonous behavior. If anyone hangs, it won't be me, General Berger said. We've been expecting this for a long time. A dozen armed members of the Pentagon Protection Force entered the conference room and handcuffed Generals Milley and Hawkinson. In closing, one source said Milley and Hawkinson have since been shipped to the SPA, where they will ultimately answer to a military tribunal. Asked if 45 was at the Pentagon on April 16th, one source replied, I cannot say yes or no. I can tell you that what's happening now is a prelude to a re-inauguration on Independence Day. Now, guys, I don't like to give dates, so obviously that's not from me, so I have nothing, to do with that. Obviously, I didn't write that article. However, wow, I had talked about this, about General Milley. I knew that he was gone, so I understood that move. That made a lot of sense to me. What I didn't know was that Hawkinson stepped and now is gone as well. Did not know that. So that's new news to me, but I love it. I want to talk about this. I am actually going to need your help. And I really haven't needed people's help before. I am going to try to do a video on this tomorrow, but I have to. Okay, so if you're new to my channel, let me apologize up front. I am a protector. I expose and I expel demons, okay? Regardless of their title, their name, and their position, okay? If you don't like that, I apologize. Go to another channel, but that's who I am. Right here, we have a fugitive. Now, the key word in that sentence is fugitive. Give me 1 second. I got to take my Discord off because it's blowing up right now. Okay. A fugitive. A fugitive is not good. It is somebody that is running from the law. Okay. And what this guy has done is he's taken and stolen money from people. Okay. And not only has he taken and stolen money from good patriots with good homes, but he's also stolen from our military, where he said he was doing a good thing. Okay? So I want to read this to you, and there'll be more, but this is from the Daily Beast. I know this guy. I met him in DC personally. I had a run-in with him that very night, and I'll get to that in my video. But what I want to do is I want to talk about this, and I need your help. See, I got blocked on his Telegram, but I need everybody to take this. Now, he knows about this article because it came out, and he tried to get ahead of it. But what I'm going to show you tomorrow, he is not aware that I have, and I'm going to out him. And what it is documents from the government. That is his rap sheet. That is also showing he's a fugitive of Maryland and Pennsylvania, and he's running. So there's a warrant out for his arrest. And this man needs to be taken down. Yes, he's Richard the Citizen. Correct. Now, I knew how I met him. He broke into a dinner at a very posh restaurant in DC, looking like Antifa. We'll get to that in tomorrow too, as well, is where they're looking at him, maybe having ties and getting money from Antifa. But what I want to talk to you about is this article, because it's very, very sad. And, you know, Flexies, you're going to enjoy this because I've been telling you, be careful. Be careful of who you listen to. I don't care if they sound good. Do your what do you call it? You know, homework. Do your research, not just on what they're putting out there, but also on that person. Okay? You know, we had an incident, you know, with a guy that is getting a cease and desist order from my attorney as we speak this week. He went on a chat with Flexies and good friends of mine, trying to say all this bad stuff about me, that I have different personalities and all this. But when it came down to it, and they said, can we sit down with you? We want to really know the honest to God truth about Chris, if you have any dirt on him. And he couldn't tell them one thing. Not one thing. The only thing is he's Antifa and BLM. He's a photographer for them. I've outed him. I don't agree with anything he's about, nor do anybody else. And he doesn't like that. He's actually one of the people that took me down on Facebook. He brags about it. He brags about what he did, what I built for other people. He brags about taking that down. So we'll get to him one day, but I want to talk about this, okay? So first of all, Rich is not and never has been a part of Q, a baker, or an anon influencer. That's number one, Will Summer, okay? So please do your homework, okay? No such thing as QAnon. There is Q. There's about 10, maybe less than that, of people. Then you have what's called bakers. They're the ones that send out the clues to us. Anons, like myself, we're the ones that try to figure out the riddles. But there's no such thing as QAnon. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Ended in chaos with the diner's owner claiming she's owed $10,000 and the conspiracy theorists wanted for arrest in 2 states on unrelated charges. Promoter Richard Posner's relationship with Pete's Diner owner Gum Tong started in late January. Remember when he was showing that? Remember when the National Guards, right, were in the car garage, right? And he was bragging about bringing them coffee, and he was doing like live interviews with her, right? And was telling people to bring money in, the whole nine, right? Okay, that's this woman. So Potner urged National Guard soldiers guarding the Capitol in the aftermath of the January 6th riot to order meals on his tab at the Capitol Hill Diner. It was a frequent breakfast spot for former Speaker of the House, John Boehner. Now, as the bills were piling up, Rich asked his 200,000 Telegram followers to send him money so he could pay Tom for the meals. For months after that, Posner posted videos of himself settling his tab with donated money from his fans. When his tab would run out, Tom would continue to serve the meals only to be paid back later by Rich. One day, though, Rich stopped visiting the restaurant to pay his bill, according to Tom. Tom claims Rich now owes her $10,000 on an outstanding bill for the meals. He got the money from the people, Tom said, referring to the donors, but we didn't get the money from him. Obviously, Posner didn't respond to a request for comment. In a post on his Telegram account, which I read, Posner made various allegations against Tom, so he went after her, okay, and pointed out that many of the soldiers who were eating at the diner have already left Washington. Posner also complained that Tom hadn't given him any freebies on his own, even after he spent $60,000 in donation at the restaurant. He said, Gum had me running to Costco, doing errands, yet asked me if she ever gave me one free meal, let alone one free coffee. Well, the feud between Rich and Tom highlights a growing influence of, and guys, you know, I'm really detesting you, brother, because you're blaming QAnon again. Like, it seems like every time somebody does something wrong in this country, they are attached to QAnon, which, number one, doesn't even exist, right? But it's not true. Anyway, but Posner's perpetrated 5-figure debt as Pete's Diner is likely low on his list of worries because he's also a wanted fugitive in Pennsylvania and Maryland for weapons possession and probation violation, respectively. Again, he's part of the quiche, you know, and it just goes into him being with QAnon. Okay, he's not, and I'm going to tell you again, he is not part of QAnon. Never has, never will be. Okay. It talks about Posner's activities in Washington have attracted attention more than just supporters. In late April, he was arrested and charged as a fugitive from justice on 2 charges, one for weapons possession charge in PA and one for a probation violation in his home state of Maryland. He was released from DC jail pending an extradition hearing scheduled for June. Now, guys, I don't care what he says or what they're saying. He was not arrested by the DC police. He was not. You got other podcasts out there, and I'm calling you guys out, man. Go out and do your research before you just start mouthing off. Yeah, there's one Froggy. Yeah, you're sitting there going, yeah, the reason that he got arrested and we can't find him is because he was shooting, video of something we weren't supposed to see. Absolutely the farthest thing from it. He got busted, guys, and I'm telling you this. He took a friend of mine's money, okay, here in Pittsburgh to show up, okay, and to do a video. And he did 30 seconds of it. And when he left Pittsburgh to go back to Maryland, that's when he got pulled over. He did not get pulled over in DC. He got pulled over here on his way from Pittsburgh back to DC. So guys, get your story correct. And don't sit here, have the DC police done some things? Absolutely. But now all of a sudden, you don't see Rich in DC, you see him in Arizona, you see him here. Yeah, because why? It's not because they told him not to be there. It's because he's got a rap sheet like you would not believe. Now, the latest charges, guys, are far from his brush with law. In Maryland, Posner has been involved in numerous court cases. One is a 2019 domestic violence order. It required him to surrender any firearms he owned and allegations that he violated a court order protection order. It's not clear how much money Rich's fans sent him for the diner meals or how he spent it. He solicited donations to be sent to him directly rather than a non-profit or other group. A flyer promoted on his channel promoted his personal accounts on payment apps, Venmo and Cash App, claiming the money would go to support our troops and honest citizen journalism. The allegations that Rich pulled a 5-figure dine and dash from Pete's Diner have divided. I don't want to read it, right? It also goes on, it talks about, the pushback on Telegram. Apparently his moderators have dropped him. I have heard from Telegram. I can't get on it. Once I outed him here in Pittsburgh, then they muted me. So I can't say anything. But guys, you can. So if you go on his thing, I would tell people beware. Now, if people don't realize and want to still do that, and guys, I'm going to show you some serious charges he's had against him that is just not okay with me. And it says in the Bible, if you stand by, you comply. Okay? And it involves children. We'll leave it at that. But you'll see for yourself. And again, I'm going to out him because I know him. I met him. I went through a situation with him in DC, which I'll share with you tomorrow. And you can ask me any question whatsoever. I could tell you that they are looking into him collecting money from possibly Antifa. I know that they saw that he blew $1,500 of the donations at a stripper's bar. So they're aware of that as well. So there's going to be a lot more. So we'll get more into that tomorrow. Fair enough. So let's continue. All right. So guys, right here, I love GOP Chair Dr. Kelly Ward. The election should not have been certified if the Maricopa County election routers were shared with law enforcement. Did you hear what I said? The routers were shared with law enforcement. Right there, it should have never been certified. It's not allowed, guys. Do you understand that? And she talks about that. You could actually go on here later and read it and watch the video. But the Maricopa, and then look at this. Maricopa County officials refused to provide routers and passwords to the Senate auditors. I wonder why. I wonder why. See, if I have nothing to hide, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. What do they have to hide? What do they have to hide? It really makes you say, what do they have? Right? What exactly do they have to hide? I want to show you this. I had talked about this, months ago, about a boy that was missing, and we were trying to find out who this guy is. I believe I know who it is. So let's watch this, and you tell me who you think it is. Fair enough? Okay. Give me 1 sec because I have to download it. Did it download? Guys could see that or not. Hold on for 1 second. You'll be able to see it now. All right, let me know who you think this is. Ready? In the wig, in the pink wig. Ah.
Said that you could let it go. Somebody that you used to know. You didn't cut me off. Thinking like you never. We were nothing. Need your love. Treat me like a stranger. To feel so rough. So low. Like a prince collector. Send the change up no more.
Who do you think that is? My guess, Stephen Colbert. That is my guess. If I was to, that would be my guess. If I was to guess. And you see when he's singing how the boy is so like he's pulling away, like he doesn't even want to be there. And that's how they agitate them. That is how they scare them, they agonize them. It's so disturbing how they mock them. And you got to see, what I've been talking about for months on end. Let me see what else I have. The last thing I want to show you is this is going to be great. So again, people have questions about 9/11, and I don't really think that people truly understand, what happened. But I'm about to show you, because I couldn't find this video, and then I found it, and it's honestly, you can't even find it online anymore. It's pretty hard to find. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure you can see. Okay. Should be able. Okay, ready? Now watch.
Wow.
No plane. Watch one more time. Show me. Watch it move inside.
Wow.
No plane. That one's for you, Ed. So, it's crazy when people talk about, oh, there was a plane. It was hologram. It was CGI. There it is right there. There's the proof right there. So, hopefully I got to, spend a little bit of time with you, share a little bit of Tampa and my experience with you. What I do want to talk about is what is coming up. I am leaving Friday for Dallas. I am going to be at the Faith and Freedom. And then I'm also on Sunday going to be with Scott McKay. Now, what am I going to tell you? Man, if you've never met Scott McKay, the Patriot Street Fighter, let me tell you something. It is worth, wherever you are. Knowing what I know about Scott now, if you told me I could meet Scott, Patriot Street Fighter, and get to meet him and sign autographs and talk to him, but I had to drive 16 hours, I'm there. I'm there. I'm also going to bring a buddy of mine too. That we can split the driving. Guys, it's not an opportunity where you get somebody like Scott McKay, the Patriot Street Fighter, the guy that is building this army, city by city, state by state, soon it's country by country. The guy that is making a stand for not just his family, but your family, for your children, for your grandchildren. This guy is literally putting his life on the line. Never mind his reputation, his life on the line. For what? Notoriety, for fame, for money? No, because he knows what right is. His moral compass is straight up. He has such a high standard of ethics, values, and morals, and does not want to see this country go down that path. So I'm telling you, if you're in the Dallas area or you're anywhere close, get there. Get there Sunday, buy a ticket, And look, if you buy a ticket, $50, and you meet Scott and you see the show, and afterwards you come up to me and you go, "Hey, Chris, you know, that wasn't everything it was, cracked up to be." I will write you out a $50 check and hand you your money back. Yes, I will. Why? Because that's how much I believe in this man. Because I know I've seen the vision. I've seen him on stage. I've seen the place going crazy. I get to bring him up. I get to MC the event. I'm so blessed and humbled. But if you're sitting here and you're at home and you're like, "Man, I got to do more. I got to do more." Chris, I just don't know what to do. Go meet Scott. Scott will help you. Scott will iron out a whole game plan and tell you exactly what we're going to do. But you know what's awesome is you're going to get to network with other people just like you. People that are just like-minded and like-hearted just like you. Isn't it great when you're around people that feel the same way you do and have the same heart like you do? Isn't that cool? Could you imagine like exchanging numbers and then building friendships? What did I just do in Tampa? What did I just do in Tulsa? What am I going to do in Dallas? Same thing. Same thing. See, that's what this world is about. It's building relationships to last forever. We got to have each other's sixes. You know what that means? Back, right? But not only our back, but we got to have the front, we got to have the side. We got to be surrounded by great people. Scott's great people. And you know what? So is bodyguard Ron. I mean, normally I don't say that. Normally I don't say, "Hey, the bodyguard or the publicist is great." He's phenomenal. I've talked to him almost every single day, this man. So not only do you get to meet Scott, but you get to meet Ron too. And he's not just the bodyguard, he's his executive assistant too. He does so much. But you don't want to be there and say, "Man, I had an opportunity. I could have met Scott. I listened to him. I've heard about him. Man, it was right there. I could have met him." Tickets for general admissions, $50. If you went out to eat, wouldn't you spend $50? What would you get out of going out to eat? Good food? Good. Could you imagine spending 5 hours, 6 hours with this man? Bring your merchandise. I'll sign everything. Bring your camera, bring your phone. He'll take as many pictures as you want. More importantly, he'll make you feel special. He'll make you feel like you're the only person in the room, even though there'll be thousands. So that's this Sunday. I believe it doors open at 12 o'clock. You can go to his website. You guys know about his website. Scott McKay. Let me get his website before I get killed. I got to memorize that, right? So he has so many. Gosh, he has so many of them. I had it written down, so I apologize. Oh, there's other Scott McKays too, so I want to get this for you. Scott, I thought it was Scott McKay, MCKA.us. Go to his website, get tickets while they last, like I said, for $50 to spend 5-6 hours with a true Patriot Street Fighter. And then the following week, guys, I know in Pittsburgh, they're excited. Scott is going to be in Pennsylvania. That's right. He's going to be at Penn State. You don't want to miss that. I know there are people that here in Pittsburgh alone that they are getting groups together and they're driving together. So that's pretty cool. And you know, you're going to get to watch Scott call down the Thunder. I'm just looking because in Penn State, 1 second. It is 200 Ellis Place State College. I believe it's a dome church. I believe it holds 700. I'm going to tell you right now, tickets are going quickly. We could be sold out easily by Friday. So if you live in Pittsburgh, you live in Pennsylvania, and you want to see Scott McKay, if I was you, I would go right now to scottmckay.us and buy a ticket now. That way you could say, I got a ticket and I did not miss out. Guys, I'm also going to be in not only Penn State with Scott, but I'm also going to be in Portland the following week and then Dallas on the 31st. And then I'm going to be in Tampa June 16th through the 19th. And then July 2nd, we have a rally that I'm running and being a part of. So guys, hopefully you got something out of this. My phone is blowing up. So I'm going to have to go here and answer my phone here in a minute. Does anybody have any questions for me? Thank you, Bobby T. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Joe. Laquala Daisy, thank you. Thank you, Keller Band. So guys, if there's no questions for me, Laquila did I text you. I know you were busy. I prayed over Victoria with you at the. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Daisy. Yeah, we could tomorrow, Daisy, if you want to get a hold of me. Guys, real quick, what I want to tell you is that, and I really want you to take this to heart, is that don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not worthy. If somebody calls you a name, say, you know what, I'm worthy and I'm a miracle. Because you're a miracle right now, because you are placed to fight this spiritual battle that's going on right now, which is the most incredible time in our history where they're going to write history books about what's going on. And you're going to be a part of it. You just have to decide how much a part of that history do you want to be. Do you want to be that person that says, you know, I remember that Patriot Street fighter, Scott McKay, because they're going to write about him. They're going to have books about him. And you're going to be like, I was there. I was there in Dallas when he was there. I was there. And could you imagine, hold on, let me paint you a picture. Could you imagine be sitting there in Dallas, right? You just met Scott McKay. And what we're going to do is we're going to do questions and answers, you know, and then I'm going to go around, I'm going to be interviewing guests, you know, people that are just so ecstatic. Could you imagine if you got picked out of the audience to just talk about Scott and your time there, to be a part of history? How cool would that be? But you need a ticket. Go right now. scottmckay.us. Get one for Pennsylvania. And you know what? I'm going to say this, and if you're brand new, understand, I speak about this a lot. How many people know people in Dallas from Pennsylvania? How many people in Dallas or in Texas area know somebody in Pennsylvania? Wouldn't it be cool if you bought a ticket for somebody in that other state? Wow, what a powerful story to pay it forward for somebody. How cool would that be? Just a thought. So, guys, I want to pray for you. A couple of people that I want to pray for. Number one, all my original Flexies. Guys, I love you truly, dearly. You guys are a part of history. Everything I do, I give all my glory and praise to the Lord Jesus. But, I'm doing this, again, this week going away to Tampa, on a plane and just asking myself, soul searching, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Because it's so easy to just give up, right? Especially when you've been pushed back a lot like me, and you guys know I've been censored. But I fight for you people. And guys, I want to pray for James Keller, his dad, going through chemotherapy. I know what that's like with having my mom and dad, 3 years ago go through that and losing mom and dad 7 months in between one another. Yeah. So I would definitely want to pray for James and his family. I want to pray for Donna. I know what you're going through, Donna. We talked about your sons getting the V. Here's what I'm going to tell you. We're going to pray for them right now. We're going to pray. We're going to pray hard for them, right? Anybody else that got the V or the hokey pokey, we're going to pray for them as well, so that they someday could see the light and see that there's other ways. Thank you so much for the prayers for our granddaughter Gracie. She's doing so much better. She's actually out of the hospital. Guys, that when I saw that, and that that choked me up. That my granddaughter has strangers praying for her. She doesn't even know. Guys, I also want to do a very sincere, powerful prayer for my squirrel family. In California, JD, Pamela, Squirrel, Mom. Guys, JD is my brother. JD is my spiritual brother. I met him in DC. We automatically got connected. Pamela immediately became my sister. I immediately protected her. I immediately just was drawn to her. Their mother was just my mom. My mom with unconditional love. And Squirrel is just Squirrel. Christine, just so loving. JD, I talked about him, we prayed about him, and he was going through a major, major, major lawsuit. Guys, I just want to talk to you. If I talk to you now, a lot of you Flexies know what has been prophesized over me. And you're starting to see that a lot of stuff that I've been saying is coming true. Not just in the world, but like even with people. The one thing that I said with JD was that he had to let it go. That I felt that his heart was hurting and that there was so much stress put on his heart that it didn't matter about the amount of money. And that I begged and I pleaded for him to let it go. But he couldn't. What it has done, it has enlarged his heart. Now, this man has such a huge heart. He always looks after mom. He looks after Pam. He's always looking after everybody, So when I came in the picture, it was like, oh, I got my buddy, This man is all about heart. This man never even thinks about himself. right now, he needs our prayers. I got that call from Pamela in Florida. And I was trying to be strong for Pamela. And Pamela is so strong, such a strong woman. By the way, if you don't know who Pamela and JD are, they're two ordained ministers as well. And she broke down. She said, Chris, I've been so tough for JD. And she just let it out with me because she trusts me. And you hear that woman on the other line just break down and cry. I was going to leave. I was going to go right to California. She told me no. She told me to wait. But I said, the minute you give me the okay, I'm there. I said, they're my family. I can't lose JD. I'm asking, not just now, but I'm asking that. His name is JD. I'm asking if you never prayed before, ever in your life. I'm asking if you could just pray for this man. I want everybody around the world to pray for this man because I believe that the power of prayer could make his heart so much. I hate to say smaller because he's such a great person, but you know what I mean, out of harm's way. He has so much more work to do. If you could just pray for JD. I'll never ask you for anything else ever again. I'm sorry. I didn't think this was going to happen. But when somebody means the world to you, only such a short period of time, you can't even figure it out. But you know what's crazy? And I'm going to leave you with this. I said to Pamela, I said, when I was in Tampa, when I was in Tulsa, I was literally calling her because I was like, because she was away, she was in Florida. And I thought maybe we could meet one another. And, she told me, no, she was flying back because I wanted to have a conversation about, being away from my husband and mom so long and, is that a good thing? And, because she's about healing the world. She's like me. She has those med beds that I have that she sells. She's the one who got me involved in them. And when I was in Tulsa, when I was dancing, it was on my heart to just stop the music and just say, whoa, whoa, whoa. And if you recall what I did, I taught the world how to hug. And it was all about what? The heart to heart. And I came home and I redesigned the back of my shirts to say Baby Trump's Heart to Heart Tour and got a logo made up. Kylie, thank you so much for getting them done. They were a rave everywhere I went. Everybody wants them now. But isn't it crazy that it was on my heart to do something of a heart, and it was JD. And then Pamela hit me with this. She said, Chris, he has this warehouse or this storage or something, and he has paintings of hearts. I said, what? She's like, he has tons of paintings of hearts. Isn't it crazy how God just uses you just to be a conduit, just to be a puppet on strings? And you don't even know why you're doing it. When I was in Tulsa, I was like, what am I doing? I'm telling them to stop the music. Clay's looking at me like, what are you doing? So I could speak and tell the world how to love one another, heart to heart. So in honor of JD, every time that I have a speaking engagement or anytime I'm on the stage, that is what I'm going to do. I will teach everybody how to hug heart to heart. So, guys, remember, you're worthy, you're a miracle. Flex your mind, flex your muscles, but above all, flex the truth. See you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let everybody know we're back on. I want to just, I'm not going to put any guests on this week. I want to start rock and rolling, and then, maybe next week. Okay. But once we start getting guests, we're gonna have so many guests, it's gonna rock your soul. So God bless you. Bless up. Talk to you later.